Does the name Austin Maddox ring a bell? It may be familiar because he's a retired Boston Red Sox pitcher. It may also ring a bell because he was just arrested for something that may alter the rest of his life. Well, I'm about to tell you what happened to Austin Maddox and my perspective as a criminal defense attorney and what he's looking at. Hi, I'm Daniel M. Rosenberg. I'm a criminal defense attorney and the founding partner of Rosenberg, Perry & Associates. And one of the things I like to do on this channel is provide an attorney's perspective on cases that friends and family ask me about, and Austin Maddox is something I'm being asked about quite a bit. So Austin Maddox is 33 years old. He's a retired Major League Baseball player. He was drafted by the Red Sox. He played a handful of games in the league, and he ultimately retired in 2020. So why are we talking about Austin Maddox? Well, that's because in April of 2024, the Jacksonville Police Department, along with some other governmental agencies, were running a sting. This was a 5-day sting referred to as Operation Valiant Night. And what they did was pretended to be children online communicating with alleged child predators. Now, Maddox thought he was chatting with someone who was 14 years of age, and then he scheduled a time to go meet that person to allegedly engage in sexual interactions. And the Jacksonville Police Department released video of his arrest. You'll see he's arriving at this location. It's not a 14-year-old girl, it's law enforcement. He's ultimately arrested. There's also some allegations that he resisted arrest until a canine was deployed and then he complied. So the first question I get is this legal? Can law enforcement set up this sting operation and pretend to be children and essentially encourage people to engage in this sort of conduct? And isn't this entrapment? Well, the short version of that is no. And that's because entrapment prevents law enforcement officers from encouraging or inducing an individual to commit a crime that they were not already predisposed to do. So the start of this interaction is going to be significant. Let me give you a classic example. I'm an undercover officer. I'm selling drugs. I walk up to you. I go, "Hey man, how you doing? You want to buy some drugs?" You say yes. That's entrapment. On the other hand, I'm acting like a drug dealer on a known drug set, and you come up to me and say, "Hey, do you have anything?" And I say yes and give it to you. That is not entrapment because I didn't induce or convince you to do something. You were doing it on your own. I just fooled you. All right, so now that we talked about entrapment, what are the criminal charges that he would be facing? I can't speak to Florida. I can tell you what this looks like if it happens in New Jersey. So there's a host of charges he could be looking at, and the vast majority of them are in the second-degree range, which means that if he is convicted, he is going to prison for a period of between 5 and 10 years, because there's a presumption of incarceration when you're charged with a crime of the second degree. In addition, all of these charges have a Megan's Law and parole supervision for life component. So what does that mean? So if you are convicted and you don't plead to an offense that doesn't require Megan's Law, you are going to be sentenced to Megan's Law registration, which means you are convicted, you are then evaluated, and there is a tiering system. Tiers 1 through 3, and depending on where you fall, will dictate the level of notification the public gets. The other component to this is parole supervision for life. If you're convicted of these offenses, whether you serve time or otherwise, there is a parole supervision for life requirement, which means you are on parole supervision for the rest of your life. So there's a lot more that goes into these types of charges and how you defend against these types of charges. But if you're Austin Maddox, what sort of reality are you sitting in right now? Well, what's been released publicly is he was arrested and was subject to a $300,000 bail requirement. All right, assuming he's able to post the bail and be released. By the way, even if these charges are dismissed, you're never getting that stink off. Nope. No matter where he goes, no matter what he does for the rest of his life, whether people are going to remember or the internet is going to remind him, this is going to be associated with him forever. Whether he did this or not, by the way. So this is the reality of the criminal justice system and the internet. Once this stuff comes out, guilty or innocent, it's lasting. He also really needs to be seriously concerned with prison time. If this happened in New Jersey, I would fully expect that he would be placed on Megan's Law, and the real fight would be whether or not we can keep him out of prison. And we've been successful in not only keeping people out of prison on charges like this, but also potentially getting them out of Megan's Law. So the two big ticket consequences that he has to deal with is Megan's Law and prison time. And quite candidly, it's going to be very difficult for him to miss out on both of them. Any way you slice this, this is going to be leaving a lasting impression on Austin Maddox and those around him. So if you or someone you know has been charged with a crime or a sex offense here in New Jersey, please contact our office. We're happy to help in any way we can. We'll take the time we need to assess your situation and give you blunt and candid advice. And if you like the content of this video, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if there's a topic you'd like to learn more about, please contact my office or leave a comment below. I'd be happy to hear about it. We are criminal trial attorneys. We have your back. That's what we do.